We've also talked about medically high-risk Ohioans who are under the age of 65. And we've carved out this group of individuals, and we want to talk a little bit in more detail today in regard to this group. And Eric, if you can put that slide up, well, that shows that group. Next week, not this week, next week, we will open vaccinations for those Ohioans with severe congenital, developmental, or early onset medical disorders that makes them particularly vulnerable. We have divided this group of individuals, and Dr. Vanderhoff will go through this and we'll list all the different items that are listed here of people who qualify. But I want to say this very carefully. We've divided this group, and here's how we've divided it. And again, this whole group was picked because of their risk of death if they got the COVID, high risk of death if they got the COVID. That's why this group was picked, signaled out by the medical professionals. We have taken this group, and everyone in the group will be able to get the vaccine at some point, but we've divided this group, and here's how we have divided it. And again, the division that we're making is based upon likelihood of death if they get it. So the first group will be those Ohioans with severe congenital, developmental, or early onset medical disorders that makes them particularly vulnerable, and who have a developmental or intellectual disability. Who have a developmental or intellectual disability. For those persons with an intellectual or developmental disability and one of these conditions, your local county developmental disabilities board will reach out to you. Let me again say that. For those with an intellectual or developmental disability and one of these conditions, your local county developmental disability board will reach out to you to help coordinate receipt of the vaccination. Again, these individuals will be contacted by their local county developmental disabilities board. Local health departments and our state's children's hospitals have agreed to work with our boards of developmental disabilities to help coordinate these vaccinations for some of our most vulnerable residents. In 3 weeks, so this will start this coming week for these individuals. In 3 weeks, the week of February 15th, people who have any of these conditions and do not have an intellectual or developmental disability will be eligible to receive the vaccine. As we lead up to that, further guidance will be forthcoming as we get closer to that date.